everyone, welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a quick video kind of recapping the ESO PvP Battlegrounds Ask Us Anything that the devs took part in on Reddit, and I guess kind of like recap some of the questions that were asked and the answers that the devs gave, and then I guess kind of my thoughts on them. So apparently some people are worried about 4 groups of Magicka Templars, each having high health, heavy armor, and like blocking and stuff, and basically never running out of resources. And Rich answered that saying they're likely leaning towards doing no CP in Battlegrounds, which I think is great. I hope they do that. Or if they do include CPs, to have CP power adjustments. I don't know exactly what that would mean. I guess maybe some CP changes. They're looking into item set adjustments, regen adjustments, I guess, so they want to discourage people having unlimited sustain. And he also said, which I think is important, that they don't like those kind of builds either, so I think we're definitely looking at some changes coming to perma-blocking or perma-tank builds. Maybe, like, it might not happen in Morrowind, but I think it's something they're definitely going to try to adjust, which I think is great, because I hate those tank builds that just can never seem to be killed. Another question that I saw: will Battlegrounds have a matchmaking rank? How will the leaderboards be determined? They also asked if they play 24/7 and lose a lot of games, will they be placed high on the leaderboards due to playtime? So basically I think they're asking if playtime matters more than actually winning the matches. And Brian Wheeler said that first, Battlegrounds will try to match players by their level and their champion rank, and also whether you're grouped or not. So I'm assuming people who are grouped before they enter the match are more likely to be placed against other group people. If you're a solo player, then it's going to look for, I guess, not pre-made groups. And he also said leaderboards are split up based on the game type, and there's going to be 3 at launch: deathmatch, mobile flags, and land grab. I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. And also, the rank on the leaderboard is determined by how many medals you earn in Battlegrounds. Your place on the leaderboard isn't affected by wins or loses. That's kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of similar to Eirella, I guess, where it depends on how much AP you have, not so much like individual skill, I guess. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll wait to see how that turns out to really make a judgment. Yeah, someone here said it's kind of similar to farming AP. Yeah, it does kind of seem like that. Okay, this is interesting. Nothing I'm really concerned about, but an add-on dev asked if the 3D texture API will be available in Battlegrounds, for example, to place indicators, or will the textures be invisible like in dungeons and trials? And Rich Lambert said they're leaning towards allowing it to be available in Battlegrounds. I don't know what that means. I'm not a add-on dev. I don't know anything about that, but I don't know. If you are, then maybe you'll find that interesting. Okay, there's a question: are there plans to limit or alter what consumables are available for use in Battlegrounds? In access, food, drinks, poisons. So I think they're basically asking if there's going to be any limits to potions or poisons or drinks in Battlegrounds. And Rich Lambert said that there's no plans to limit it. I know they said before that they aren't going to limit poisons, which I think a lot of people are upset about, myself included. Especially if there's going to be no CPs. I think poisons are going to hurt a lot, and I don't agree with that. I wish they would just get rid of poisons from Battlegrounds, because if there aren't going to be any CPs, then there's not going to be infinite sustain, so poisons aren't really necessary. I think, if anything, that should just be limited to Cyrodiil and not Battlegrounds, but that's just my own opinion. The person also asked if there's any chance that we will see new skill lines focusing in Battlegrounds or on Battlegrounds. I guess kind of like the Alliance War skill line. And Rich said that there aren't any new skill lines for Battlegrounds, and from his point of view, he doesn't think that we need any. And I can kind of see that too. I mean, I would always like new skill lines, but I don't really see like that we need any right now. They should probably focus on balancing the skill lines that we have already. Okay, let's see. Someone else asked if there was a chance for teaming up against friends inter-guild tournaments. Nothing like, and Brian Wheeler said there's no plans for tournaments, I guess, or like guild tournaments on launch, but they've gotten a lot of requests for that, so keep requesting that if you want it, and maybe they'll make it happen. There's another question here. Battleground equipment rewards, will they be designed specifically to be used in PvP? Or, I guess, will they be useful outside of PvP against NPCs too? Okay, this person is concerned that there are players who do not enjoy PvP, and they would have to do PvP to get them. And Brian Wheeler says that gear from Battlegrounds will be useful in PvP and PvE, which is cool. There are several which are specifically against players, but a few are general usage. I think that's great. Okay, there's another question about, I guess they're basically asking if they will be placed against, like if there's a way to determine if you're going to be placed against experienced PvPers or people who are more casual. I guess if you're a casual PvPer or a casual player, are you going to be placed against other casual people or against like hardcore PvPers? And Matt said that the matchmaking system will look at the level ranges and try to put you with similar players in your group as well as opposing team members that are close to your level, and this includes CP as well. So you should be put with players who are close to you. Okay, so the smart queuing system or whatever it's called, it's gonna try to place you with similar players to your level and I think your alliance rank. So if you have a low alliance rank, you're going to be placed with and against people who are of a similar rank. So that's kind of good. So people who are kind of not experienced in PvP will be placed against other people who are kind of not experienced. Someone asked if you can resurrect people with a soul gem in Battlegrounds, and they confirmed that yes, you can resurrect people with soul gems in Battlegrounds. So that's good to know, I guess. Okay, someone asked, do they have any additional plans to roll out some balance changes to existing classes? And Rich said yes, that there are going to be balance changes planned, but they're not ready to talk about them in depth yet, unfortunately. But I'm really glad that they're still looking at balance changes because some things do need to be tweaked a little bit. There's a question, will there be a penalty or a detriment to your team if a teammate lags out or crashes during the match? And Brian Wheeler answered that if you get booted or disconnected or quit in Battlegrounds, you'll get a debuff that prevents earning AP for a period of time, as well as not allowing you to queue for Battlegrounds at the same time. But they're still kind of working on or nailing down the duration of that penalty, so it seems kind of a little like a strict penalty, which, I mean, it's good if you quit Battlegrounds, like if you just leave, if you're not happy with your teammates or your opponents, I guess, there should kind of be a penalty, but I hope they kind of look at crashing, because I know a lot of people are still having issues with crashes in Cyrodiil, so I hope it's like they kind of up performance a little bit so people don't crash and get these penalties when they really shouldn't. Another person asked how locked into 4v4v4 format for small-scale PvP are you? Will there ever be 6v6 or 8v8? And Matt said never say never, but they really like the 4v4v4 because it is the group size in the game and it just makes sense. And it seems like they like those numbers, so people who have been wanting 4v4 are going to be disappointed. I mean, he did say never, but at least not in the near future. There's not going to be any other game modes or like any other numbers. There's another question of someone asking, are they going to address the different sets and make them more usable? Because there's so many sets available, but they're not very viable compared to other sets. And Gina Bruno says that they're looking into adjusting some of the sets, though they're not ready to discuss it yet. So that's kind of good because there are a lot of sets in the game, and most of them are not very viable or are just like way underpowered compared to the other sets. Especially, and I want to say specially crafted sets, I really hope they kind of make those a little bit stronger because I want my crafted sets. I want to be able to craft my own armor again. I don't want to have to farm. Okay, so this person is asking what kind of rewards that we'll see from Battlegrounds. And Brian Wheeler says we'll earn AP, XP, gold, leaderboard points if you complete a Battleground match. And medals will contribute directly to your leaderboard status, but won't be affected by placing first, second, or third. And you also have a chance to earn items based on your team's performance and your medals earnings. So your medal earnings. So that's interesting. Yeah. See, this is kind of what I was thinking. Someone was asking that Battlegrounds will reduce the player base of Cyrodiil drastically for the first month. Will there be any changes coming to open world PvP in Cyrodiil to ensure the campaigns will still be played? I don't think they answer that, but I don't know if any updates, I'm just giving my own opinion. I don't know if there's going to be any updates to Cyrodiil. I don't think there's going to be any new content, really. I'm hoping they do some adjustments, like making more of the map kind of usable so there's a reason for people to actually spread out instead of just going to the same keeps. But I don't think there's going to be, definitely not at Morrowind release, there is definitely not going to be anything new to Cyrodiil. Okay, so someone asked, will there be anything to address teaming up? So like if 8 of the groups in Battlegrounds team up on the other 4. And Brian Wheeler said there's no official rules for Battlegrounds to encourage or dissuade 8 versus 4, so no. I'm trying to skim through the questions that they already gave answers to, because some of them are kind of repeats. Yeah, someone asked, are there going to be any new sets that will be tied to Battlegrounds? And again, Brian Wheeler confirmed that there are, but they're not ready to be revealed yet. He did say that they're purchasable with your AP, so I'm wondering if you can just use the AP that you got from Cyrodiil. I'm assuming, because it's the same thing. AP is AP. So if you don't want to do Battlegrounds, but you like PvPing in Cyrodiil, you can just use your AP and buy the sets from Battlegrounds without actually participating in Battlegrounds. Yeah, someone asked, will there be a currency specific to Battlegrounds, so like Telvar Stone, like similar to Telvar Stones? And Jessica said no, but there will be rewards that you can buy with AP that are unique to Battlegrounds, which again, sounds like you still don't have to actually participate in Battlegrounds if you already have AP from Cyrodiil. So yeah, people who don't want to do Battlegrounds, I think you're still okay if you just want to do Cyrodiil instead. But why wouldn't you want to do Battlegrounds? It sounds so fun. Someone asked, will there be any events occurring in the Battleground maps? For example, after a certain amount of time during the battle, lava begins leaking on a certain path, perhaps changing the dynamics of the battle and making it more interesting. And Matt answered that it's a great idea, but no, there are no plans for it because they want to focus on player skill instead of environmental events. I like that. I like focusing on player skill instead. I'm kind of happy with that. Someone asked, are there going to be any resource nodes in Battlegrounds? No, there will not. We want you to focus on the objectives. So no nodes that you have to stop and get. Looking at some of the responses by Rich Lambert, he said that there are no plans to restrict class numbers in groups because they want people to get in as quickly as possible. So you're going to see groups like you can possibly see groups of 4 Templars or like 4 Nightblades, 4 Sorcerers, stuff like that. There's no restriction on that. And there are no artificial restrictions on gear, potions, or poisons. So it's free for all. And again, they're leaning towards no CPs in Battlegrounds right now, so I hope they decide to keep that. Okay, apparently someone asked if they have any plans of expanding Battlegrounds outside of Morrowind in the future, in like perhaps a future DLC, to include more Battleground maps, and Rich simply answered, yep. So I think it's pretty much confirmed that we're going to get more maps in the future in different locations, which is awesome. I would definitely like to see more Battlegrounds maps, because the ones I've already seen, like the 3 maps or whatever, they already looked really, really cool. So I'd love to see what they can do in the future, what like new maps they can implement. You know what they could also do? They could take existing dungeons and turn them into battleground maps. Like, they could have instances where you can just go PvP in them. I don't get why they don't do that, too. They already have the existing dungeons. Like, it's already there for them. All they have to do is enable some PvP in it. I think a lot of people would be happy with that, too. Yeah, someone was asking, if Battlegrounds become the new home for PvP, what will happen to Cyrodiil? Will Cyrodiil get a content update in the foreseeable future? And Matt answered that Battlegrounds are to Cyrodiil like dungeons are to regular PvE. People like to do both, and some may gravitate more towards one or the other, and he thinks people are going to do both because they're a different experience. I agree with him. There are some people that I've seen, they said they have no interest in small scale, they just like the large scale PvP, like the Siege, the Warfare, and they'll definitely stay in Cyrodiil. So I do not think personally that Cyrodiil will die. It might die a little bit, you know, the first month when Morrowind comes out, because people want to try the new content. But I'm not worried about Cyrodiil dying at all. If anything, a lot of PvEers are gonna go and like do all the PvE stuff or get their Alliance War skills while it's kind of dead. So I'm personally not worried about PvP. I know myself, I like both. I complain about Cyrodiil a lot, but I really, really like it, so I'll be doing both. If anything, it's just more to do for me. So I'm really happy. I think it's always good to have different options. This question, do you guys have a date nailed down for Battlegrounds going live on PTS? Oh damn it, no ETA. So no ETA yet for Morrowind or Battlegrounds on PTS. I want to hazard a guess. I want to see how close I am. I'm going to guess that Morrowind is going to be on the PTS May, or I don't know, May seems too late. Don't they usually give us like 2 months to test it? Okay, I'm going to say, I don't know, I'm going to say May 2nd. Let's see how close I am. May 2nd is my guess for Morrowind. Yeah, okay, some of the same questions. Someone asked if healers and tanks are allowed in Battlegrounds. Rich Lambert said that all roles are allowed, but they're still trying to look at balance and to curb many of those unkillable builds, which again, I think it's why they're leaning towards no CP. Unless some of those CP changes go through that I saw on the forums where they're changing some of the sustain, or they're getting rid of some of the sustain passives. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. But I think, again, I think no CP would be the best way to go, just to eliminate those builds. Someone asked how long the seasons will be in Battlegrounds, since they are smaller and faster paced to match, or there are smaller and faster paced matches compared to longer campaigns in Cyrodiil, and Rich said that leaderboards are all 7 days long in Battlegrounds, so that's nice and quick. A week isn't bad. And someone asked, will Battleground matches have a fixed time limit? And Matt said that the maximum time for any Battleground match is 15 minutes, although it could be shorter depending on the game type and if one team member has totally dominated. Okay, that's interesting. Will the Battleground rewards be the Tier 3 Master Weapons or regular 5-piece sets unique to Battlegrounds? Brian Wheeler said it'll be 5-piece sets. I was kind of hoping for Master Weapons, but I guess, you know, maybe one day. Someone asked if there are plans to ever host an official tournament through Battlegrounds, with large amounts of in-game gold, crowns, or real money as a reward, and then Rich Lambert simply wrote /lurk, so that's kind of a good sign. I would love to see some tournaments in this game. Definitely to hype it up a little bit. It would be good to kind of put that on Twitch then. I definitely know that the Twitch streamers like Cypher or Fangrush would probably be into that. Definitely not me. I would be like so stressed out during that. Okay, scrolling through the questions, there are a lot of same ones or ones that I guess didn't get answered because they're just too similar maybe. Okay, someone asked how the 3 maps are different. Do they have different themes or looks? Are they all located in the same place on the map, or are they spread out around Morrowind or even all of Tamriel? And Gina Bruno said they do have different environmental changes and looks, and the 3 featured are all located in Morrowind. So I guess they're different locations, but they're all in Morrowind. Okay, I got to the end of the page, so I'm trying to see what else there is. Someone asked why go with a 3-team combat system, and Matt answered, because it's inherently more balanced and adds a chaos element that 1v1 does not. So I guess in like thinking about 4v4, because I know a lot of people wanted that, they wanted to make, I don't know how 4v4v4 is more balanced than 4v4, but I guess they did want that chaos element where I guess they do kind of want the opportunity for teams to work against each other or to team up against the third team. I guess that's kind of interested. That's kind of something they wanted to happen, maybe. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. Like, if you happen to queue up and then you see a team that you know and another team maybe that you don't like, so you're like, hey, let's work together. Let's take out that third team. I think that could be kind of fun. I could see it getting annoying, too, after a while. Okay, so I'm scrolling through the rest of the things, and I think that's pretty much all of the questions that have, like, different answers anyway. Everything is basically a repeat. People are kind of asking the same things, or they're asking things that ZeniMax can't answer right now. So I hope you guys found this interesting, and I will put a link in the description to this Ask Us Anything post on Reddit, so definitely check that out because I might have missed something. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to most about Battlegrounds, if you're even looking forward to it at all. And I will see you guys soon in my next video. Have a good day, guys. Bye!